Are you sick of all the fees and the hassle of having a checking account at a big bank? Check out our sponsor, Current, using the link below. I'll tell you more about them at the end of the video. The current administration is going to go down not just as one of the most incompetent, but as one of the most uncaring and immoral administrations in modern American political history. And why am I saying this today? I mean, I could really say it on any day, but yesterday, Vice President Mike Pence went to the Mayo Clinic for a staged photo op, and he refused to wear a mask. Now, a mask aside, you could make the argument he really shouldn't be going at all. Traveling from Washington, D.C. to Minnesota at all, especially for someone like Pence, who's around a whole bunch of people all the time, going to a place where people are being treated for coronavirus and other serious conditions, introducing germs. Why even do it? It's a bad idea. He shouldn't do it at all. But he went. He went for the photo op, and he was told to wear a mask, and he did not. As you can see if you're watching today, everybody wearing a mask, Secret Service, the patient, nurses, people in the back room, but Mike Pence not wearing a mask. The Mayo Clinic tweeted, quote, Mayo Clinic had informed Vice President of the masking policy prior to his arrival today. They told him, but Pence refused to wear a mask. The Mayo Clinic ended up deleting their tweet about having told Pence about the mask policy about 3 hours after they posted it. Were they pressured by the administration? We don't know, but that tweet was since deleted by the Mayo Clinic. Here is Mike Pence surrounded by people with masks. He's the one guy in the room without one. Take a look, take a listen.
Pretty impressive. Right. And this started and got approved with the FDA with Mayo in 2 weeks instead of the usual many months.
Even faster than that. Dr. Marks from FDA sent us a protocol on March 30th. I worked closely with Dr.
So why didn't Mike Pence wear a mask? He was asked, and he says, because he is regularly tested for the virus and he wants to look people in the eye. Take a look.
Mr. Vice President, there's obviously been some controversy since you got here about the decision not to wear a mask around the Mayo Clinic, as the governor and other officials here did. Could you just walk us through why you made the decision not to wear the mask, even though the clinic said that they tweeted that they had asked you to do so?
Well, let me say, as Vice President of the United States, I'm tested for the coronavirus on a regular basis, and everyone who is around me is tested for the coronavirus. And when the CDC issued guidelines about wearing a mask, it was their recognition that people that may have the coronavirus could prevent the possibility of conveying the virus to someone else by wearing a mask. And since I don't have the coronavirus, I thought it'd be a good opportunity for me to be here, to be able to speak to these researchers, these incredible healthcare personnel, and look them in the eye and say thank you.
He wanted to look people in the eye to say thank you. Does Mike Pence know that you don't cover your face? I'm sorry, that you don't cover your eyes with the mask. You're only covering your nose and mouth. Someone tweeted me about this. He said, David, maybe Mike Pence is used to a type of white face mask that does cover your entire face, if you guys know what I mean. That's a joke, by the way, I think, as far as I know anyway. So this is one of the dumbest explanations, and this includes the testing thing. Now, Mike Pence says he's tested regularly and people around him are tested regularly. You could be incubating the disease. It's possible you could be contagious before a test result would come back positive. We just don't know. And of course, Pence is flying around. He's the last person who should be going to a hospital without wearing a mask. If Mike Pence brought an asymptomatic or pre-symptomatic early case of coronavirus to the Mayo Clinic, do you realize the amount of havoc that he could personally wreak? It is infuriating and it is toxically irresponsible, but they don't care. Now, what do I think the real reason is why Mike Pence didn't wear a mask? They manage by optics, okay? They want to pretend that we're on the other side of this pandemic. They want to pretend like, hey, listen, states are opening, everything's good, we're about to win. If a vice president who has not been seen wearing a mask for months during the pandemic, all of a sudden on April 28th, for the first time wears a mask in public, the optics are not that we've almost won. Now, of course, we've not almost won. It would be accurate to realize that we've not almost won, but it's management by optics, and Pence doesn't want to be seen wearing a mask. What I would like to have seen is the Mayo Clinic simply deny Mike Pence entry. Now, I know it's the vice president. I know he flew there from Washington, D.C. These things are carefully choreographed like a dance. It would have been a very bold move for the Mayo Clinic to do that. But I find it more bold and certainly more disrespectful and disgusting for Pence to go in there without a mask. You have people who have family members at the Mayo Clinic with coronavirus, family members, and they're not allowed to go visit at all, never mind with a mask, because the risk is too great. And Mike Pence flies in from DC and is walking around with no mask. I hope that when this is all over, and by that I mean the virus and this administration, and hopefully that's sooner than later on both counts, I hope we don't forget how incompetent this administration is, but I also hope we don't forget how disrespectful and flat out terrible people this administration has been made up of, because it is absolutely and completely disgusting. We'll have more coverage of this on our Instagram page, at David Pakman Show. Also follow me on Instagram at david.pakman if you're looking for a break from bad news every day. Follow my urban gardening experience, which I am reporting on consistently on my Instagram page at david.pakman. We'll take a quick break and be back right after this. We often talk about the many different ways that big banks take advantage of their customers. And one of our sponsors today is Current, which is an online bank for those of us who are sick of dealing with all of the fees and the nonsense from the big banks. I use Current myself. If you're watching this on YouTube, here's my actual Current debit card that I'm holding up. No minimum balance. They have 24/7 support, no overdraft fees up to $100, and it won't get declined. No ATM fees. You can use over 55,000 ATMs nationwide. And unlike other banks, you receive your direct deposits instantly, which means you'll get paid by your employer up to 2 days sooner. You can deposit checks instantly using your camera phone. And unlike other banks, Current instantly refunds the hold on your card from pumping gas. You can pause your debit card instantly, also really useful in many situations. There are just so many different advantages to ditching the big banks and instead use a bank that puts their members first. It takes 2 minutes to sign up. They'll immediately ship you your debit card for free. Go ahead and get started by clicking the link down below the video.